Mini Jake, the tribe has spoken.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Aw, fuck you too, sweetie.
I'm JJ, one of the original Tribe of Nerds members. You can catch me on Marvel, Pokemon, and other gaming podcasts.
What up? It's Josh, resident superhero nerd, but I also dabble in the occasional super villain as well.
Some may know me as the Chaos Gremlin, but really I'm just Joe King.
Pikachu, use Volt Tackle! Good job, Pikachu!
On the Tribe of Nerds. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Shane and I are back for another Survivor What If interview, this time with the third placer from Survivor Vanuatu, Scout. Scout, welcome to the Tribe of Nerds.
Yes, thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over what if scenarios, pondering the question, if you changed one thing in your Survivor game, what could have happened differently? So we'll go through a couple scenarios with you. So the first one we have for you is, what if you and Twyla didn't tell Chris and Eliza about Amy's plan to flip on Eliza? What if you guys kind of just stuck with the Women's Alliance and kind of went to the 5 with them? I mean, would you guys have been able to shift things there, or does it play out against you guys?
I'm always amazed that you actually know more about the show than I remember. Yeah, it's interesting because a Women's Alliance hasn't held in Survivor traditionally.
Yeah.
So and that's too bad. It would have been a different outcome. I would have guessed had that happened and the 5 women went to the finale, it would have depended on who won the reward challenges. I
Right.
think I probably would have still been taken to the final 3 just because I limped around on the island. They probably thought they could beat me pretty easily. But or the final 2 back in the day, it was just the final 2.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would have guessed, just guessing, winning challenges would have gone to Amy, and she might have taken Leanne with her, just out of a love for her, which is never a smart choice. Or she would have taken me with her. That's my guess.
Yeah. How do you think that plays out? I mean, who do you think wins between Amy and Leanne, or do you think you beat either of them?
No, I don't think I would have beat either of them. Just thinking back on it, probably not. Leanne, if the 2 went, Leanne may well have won it just because she was a really pleasant person, fun to be with. And if I felt that, I'm pretty sure the jurors would have felt that.
Yeah. I think we've heard stories that like Leanne was there was more to her game than was shown.
Yeah, Leanne was funny. I mean, y'all probably missed some stuff on camera, but we had some really, really good laughs, and that's always good in a relationship. So, yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Shane, you want to hit the next question?
Sure. So obviously we saw it in the real time, you make the final 3 and you had a really close alliance with Twyla, but ultimately Chris wins that final immunity and decides to take Twyla instead of you. But what if Chris took you instead? Like, how do you think the jury votes would have played out? Like, would you have beaten him, or if not, like, how many votes would you have got?
Yeah, I don't think I would have beaten Chris. Chris actually, his game, he started out weak in the game and he got better and better. Twyla started out strong and got weaker and weaker. But Chris played a good game, and he would have won had he taken me with him.
Hmm.
He thought he wasn't sure of that, so he took Twyla.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Had really pissed off a number of people. So. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Chris would have won it. I know, what would I have said to the jury at the time to try to convince them to vote for me? I'm a pretty integrous person, so I would have felt even then that Chris played a good game. But I would have told him, being 59, with an artificial knee that didn't fit. It ended up, that knee that I had was a man-sized knee. When I came out of the game, I had to have that entire right knee replacement removed and a female knee put in, which now bends. So, that hampered my game tremendously. So, but having me in the game and having Chad in the game kind of equalized the handicap for the men and the women on either side. I had good relations with everybody. So who knows? I still think Chris would have won it.
Yeah. What if it was you and Twyla in the final too? Like, let's assume Twyla wins final immunity. It takes you. How do you think that would?
Yeah, I probably would have had a chance to win then.
Yeah.
Because Twyla PO'd so many people. And people liked me. They knew I put my social and psychological game was a very good game. My physical game, of course, was hampered with a handicap. But had it been me and Twyla, I possibly could have won it.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we were walking in the jungle somewhere prior to that final jury thing, before that Chris made that decision, before the final immunity challenge. That challenge, I'm really strong in my arms, and I could have sustained a lot better standing on that rock with a bow and arrow in my hand. However, I had a piece of coral in my foot.
Oh.
Me positioned as a right-hand shooter. I'm actually a left-hand shooter. They could not have changed that with the position of the cameras. So I was in a great deal of pain, actually, in my foot, and I had to step down. No, that's not an excuse. It's just a reality check of how things were. So,
Right.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
but I was going to tell you, before that challenge, I was walking in the woods, and I really realized I never was there for the money. It was never an incentive for me at all. I was there because I love the game.
Mhm.
I was there because I thought I could play the game. And at the time, I was, and for a very long time, the only person from Oklahoma to be in the game.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm 80 years old now, guys.
Yeah, I actually saw something that you're the oldest living female contestant from Survivor.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I marvel.
Yeah.
So let me get my volume all the way up. I look in the mirror and I think, good Lord, I am 80 years old. That's really trippy. And there's a Survivor fan named Anthony, and every day he texts me something, but he sends me all the people that die, all the actors and famous people that die, and invariably the majority of them are younger than I am. So it's like, stop it, quit doing that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Have you ever been in contention to return for one of the returning player seasons that's happened? Like, have they ever called you?
I have been asked if I would return to the game. I can't return now. Not at my age. I now have 2 artificial shoulders and 2 artificial knees. It sounds horrible, and they work really well, so it isn't. But I was an extreme athlete as a young woman, and you pay for that when you're older. You pay for all that athleticism. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, were there any of the seasons like Micronesia season 16 or maybe Heroes and Villains that you could have seen yourself on and you would have think you would have had a good shot if they had called you and put you on those seasons closer to when your original season aired?
Huh. I don't. Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
You see, you guys study it constantly and you remember all these details.
Yeah.
You know, I watched the show. I used to blog for CBS every show, but it took a lot of time and I quit doing that. So now I just watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still watch the show? You keep up with it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't call me on Wednesday night when the show's on because I won't answer your call.
What do you think of Survivor 50? Like the cast, and I mean, do you have any opinions on who is on the cast?
You mean for now?
Yeah, coming up in
For now.
50.
Well, you know, all of us old timers, we were out there 39 days. I was on an island, camped out in the mud, in the rain. It rained 38 of the 39 days. In that horrible situation for you know, we were out there 38 to 39 days, and now they're out there 26 days. So all of us old timers, when we talk to each other, it's like, well, big deal. You know,
Right.
when they start complaining, it's like, sweetie, you've got 2 more weeks to go, so shut up and don't stand by me. You know,
Right.
go sit on another part of the beach if you're going to gripe.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that I don't like that. I don't know what I think of the immunity challenge thing. We of course didn't have anything like that.
Right.
You know, we just played out our challenges and went to our what we called our meditations when the camera would ask us questions.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a very different game now, I have to say. It's just and Jess allowing you know, all hell to break loose in a tribal.
Yeah.
With them talking to each other and jumping up and running around and whispering and all that stuff. You know, we had none of that. When Jeff leaves and says that he'll go count the votes, he's
Mhm.
gone for a good hour, hour and a half, and it's cold and raining, and there we sit. We can't say word one, you know. And now it's just so it's just so different now.
Right.
Much more chaotic. I'm not sure I like that a lot, but you know, you can't take my word for it because I'm an old timer. You know,
Right.
we went to hell and back, and they don't have to do it as much.
Mhm.
So we think differently of the game now, most of us.
Right.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Well, anything else, Scout, you wanted to let us know about your time on the show?
One of the things I would let you guys know and your listeners know is that Survivor is really very pure in terms of, you know, they don't coach you. Like I've had a friend of mine works on The Bachelor and Bachelorette. They see something happen over in the corner and they say, "Oh, that's good. Do that again. Let's get that on film." None of that in Survivor. If you saw it, it happened, and that's. I mean, it's very pure. And when people, Jerry from Australia, she's always saying, "Well, they edited me to be that way." Well, yeah, because you were that way. You know, it's on film. And if you see it as a viewer, if you see it on film, we saw it 10, 20, 30 times or more on the island. So, you know, what you see is what you get with Survivor. You can count on that. There's not any prompting, or all they want you to say is, if they'll say, well, what happened at Tribal? They just want you to lead off by saying, at Tribal, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Right.
Just position that statement. Other than that, there is no prompting, no coaching. They catch it on film, and there are cameras. You get used to the cameras being around, and they're very quiet. You know, you don't interact with them much. I marvel at them because they leap over lava and do all kind of things, carrying those heavy cameras and boom mics. But they're very conscientious to catch it on camera, pure. And you know, I was told when I came out of the game, you know, Steven Spielberg, he drops about 13% of his footage on the editing floor. Survivor drops about 300% of its footage on the editing floor. They catch so much to edit it out. And I think how they edit it out, leaving you as a viewer wondering, will it be this person or that person? You know, it's they make it where it's not so obvious who's going to get voted out. I
Right.
think they do an incredible job. I have many accolades for the production team, all of them, and John Kerfoffer and his dream team that build those challenges. You know, hats off. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and when they leave the island, they have to tear all that down and restore the site to as much of its original form as possible. So there's that kind of ecological concern and environmental appreciation that the team gives. So, you know, I love the show. I love the people.
Yeah. That's amazing, Scout. Well, thank you so much for hopping on with us, Scout. This has been incredible.
Yeah, well, you guys, good for you for doing what you're doing, and Scout out.
Yeah. We'll see you all next time on The Tribe of Nerds.